Being a parent, sometimes it can feel like, constantly walking on eggshells, just knowing when the child's next emotional storm will hit. And I've been there. As a parent of four, you can have one moment, kids are laughing, they're playing happily. The next, it's a fight. They're engulfed with anger, frustration. Things are crazy, right? It just comes out of nowhere. Now, if you're exhausted from this and you're just trying to navigate what's normal, what's not, if everything's unpredictable or it's ADHD, maybe mood swings, you're just not sure, no, you're not alone. With ADHD and hyperactivity disorders affecting more than 11% of children a day, these emotional challenges, they're far more common than many people realize. So if in your gut you feel like something's not normal, it might be. A lot of times we're told the story that maybe, it's a chemical imbalance. Maybe it's a behavioral issue, right? But oftentimes as a parent, you can think just maybe it's deeper than that. So this video is for parents, for children. If maybe you've been diagnosed with ADHD, maybe your kids are more hyperactive and you're just tired of being told that medication is the only answer. You may have also tried various interventions, but just struggled to, that struggle to help your child find that stability and are worried about the side effects. So today, we're going to dive into those mood swings and the connection between ADHD and nervous system health. This is going to look at, at beyond the traditional care plans that are more medically based or more medication based and discover how the perfect storm of factors, a lot of different things can create neurological imbalances. And then we'll look at the drug-free approach with it. So when we dig into all of this, the impact of ADHD and mood swings far exceeds emotional outbursts. It's just, it's not just all the anger or the hyperactive side of it. In fact, research shows that 25% of children with ADHD also struggle with anxiety and other mental health challenges, right? It's like when these big storms hit, it's a combination of everything for kids. And so they're not just behavior. It's deeper neurological imbalances that oftentimes is missed by a one-size-fits-all approach. Now, parents, trying to look at everything from medication, behavioral therapy, but if they continue to struggle, we really want to look deeper to dig into the root cause. And that's really what I want to talk about in this longer form video is really understanding the perfect storm behind mood swings. Oftentimes when kiddos develop stress, and especially stress that comes in the form of behavior later in life, it often starts a lot earlier. This is why we want to look back to where was there stress, in the prenatal periods? Was there stress, in play during birth and bigger birth interventions? If there was a birth intervention like a C-section, forceps, vacuum, these bigger physical stressors at birth that can impact an infant's nervous system. And then you add on to that early childhood stressors, environmental factors, and all those things, they can compound these challenges. So really, as a kiddo, we often don't see these come out till 5, 6, 7 years old, but they oftentimes start a lot earlier. And here's the connection. The connection is with the nervous system. ADHD and mood swings, they often stem from an imbalance in the autonomic nervous system, which starts to develop when baby's in utero, when they're dealing with maternal stress, when they're going through that difficult delivery. And so if it gets stuck, with this autonomics, the autonomics get stuck in the sympathetic fight or flight mode, then the entire system goes into overdrive. And it goes into overdrive from the first moment all the way up until now. So the opposite side of that overdrive, the parasympathetics, the rest, regulate side of the nervous system that can't activate. When we get this imbalance between the stress side of the nervous system and the need to relax side of the nervous system, we call that dysautonomia. And that really affects emotional regulation. Here's really how you can break it all down, all the way from birth through development, through environmental stressors and all of the above. Physical stress and trauma create this locked in tone and tension in the body in our kids. Now, what this can look like for kids, it's high shoulders, walking on their toes, clenching their jaws. They might grind their teeth at night or during the day. It's those constant movements that they just can't calm down. And as parents, this is just what we see on the outside. In addition to this too much tone and tension that we see, The body floods the brain and central nervous system, especially the stress centers of the brain, with fight or flight input. Now, this interferes with the nervous system's ability to sustain these stress centers. Specifically, you've probably heard of this, the vagus nerve. They're crucial for emotional regulation response and the ability for kids to self-calm and self-regulate. So this becomes compromised. This creates this cycle of emotional dysregulation, mood swings, and big emotions coming out. So simply put, if you have noisy input coming into the brain from the body, from that hyper overwhelming tone of tension, the brain going to receive that and create noisy output. Now, this confusing input for the brain, it causes behavior to struggle. Input basically creates and causes that confusing output. Now, what we look at, and why I'm, a pediatric chiropractor talking about this, is if we can find those specific areas of noisy, overwhelmed, dysautonomic input and where they're coming into the brain, we can help calm them down and create that cycle or that communication loop that allows the nervous system to calm. This is why in our office we use these insight scans. Now, insight scans are specific. It's a specific technology that looks at areas of neurological stress. So the areas, but then the overall global stress on the system as well. Now we can look at where to target these areas of dysfunction and these areas of miscommunication. And then we can devise a care plan to help put balance in to allow there to be less noise coming in, to allow the body to be able to self-calm and self-regulate. Because so often behavioral issues, behavioral struggles don't just start right in the moment. They are built upon the years, not only from birth, not only from development, not only from emotions, kind of from every different side of it. Think about it. When our kids hit, 5, 6, 7 years old, what comes in? They got to do more homework. They've got to, regulate emotions, more socially, more emotionally with friends. And so many different factors come in that they tend to get more on that fight or flight system. And the nervous system simply can't calm. The brain is flooded with too much input. Now, if this sounds all too familiar to you, we want to help your child. We want to help them with that emotional balance and stability without having to rely on medication. That's where neurologically focused chiropractic care comes in, and it could be an answer that you're searching for as well. The Insight technology is awesome, and it helps identify those specific areas of the nervous system where stress might be contributing to those mood swings. And this allows us to get the care plan they need to deal with those challenges. Now, we want to help your child, and we want to get them off this emotional roller coaster. The first steps towards changing this is really getting to the root cause. We do this in our office through a consultation, and that's with one of our experienced doctors. We'll work with you. We'll help you understand your child's unique needs, and then look and see exactly, what we're seeing in the nervous system that's causing this communication imbalance. That's causing them and their nervous system to be more overwhelmed and not be able to calm in those moments and restore balance. So if I'm speaking to you and this is like, oh my goodness, this is exactly my child, check out our website. You can even click the link in our bio to check out what these insight scans do. They're going to help you look deeper. They're going to get to the root cause, and we want to help you just conquer, this struggle of mood swings, ADHD, behavioral struggles naturally without having to use drugs or medication. So we're here to help. Let us know. God bless.